So Incarnate Word competing back-to-back on the trio as we have Group 2 now. This is Paige Arizaga. She's a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Lauren Bell in her first season from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And Greta Hampson, a senior from Manchester, England. This trio finished in second place in their first meeting against Stanford. They had an opening score of 80.3667 as we see an opening lift with a spin to start things off for Group 2 of the trio. And a lift. Extreme difficulty right from the start here for the trio of Arizaga, Bell, and Hampson. And right in sync as they go vertical. They had a rotation before that sequence. Approximately 8 hours a day, these swimmers train at the Olympic level for artistic swimming. Nicely done in the vertical to the rotation by the trio of Arizaga, Bell, and Hampson. Routine number 2 from the University of Incarnate Word. Here's Michaela Gauthier and Abigail Remmers. Remmers placed first place against Stanford in all 3 of her events, the duet, the trio, and the team, same as Gauthier. This is the first place duet from the meeting against Stanford on January the 21st. They finished with a score of 81.5. Also, Gauthier and Remmers placing 5th with a score of 80.733 in the Collegiate Open Duet Free Final in the National Championships at Ohio State University last year. And we see already, right out of the gate, their sharpness together, perfectly executed. Great sequence there between Remmers and Gauthier. Remmers, a sophomore from Atlantic Beach, Florida. Gauthier, also a sophomore from Quebec, Canada. Gauthier competed on the Canadian national team in 2020. A triple silver medalist in the solo, duet, and team events in the 2019 Canadian Games. Remmers, first place, along with Gauthier in this event against Stanford already this season. Great energy by the duo. Really showing tremendous energy with the dramatic music that we have going on here. They're in the hybrid, up to the vertical. Great rotation down into the hybrid again. It's all about staying on the beat and the timing for synchronized swimming. And they did a perfect job executing that. Now they put in their second team into the duet now. This is the third selection. Noor Shamala and Paige Arizaga for the University of Incarnate Word. Shamala, a senior from Cairo, Egypt. Arizaga, a sophomore from Orlando, Florida. Quick vertical on the rotation to begin. Arizaga, a U.S. Olympian for the artistic swimming team from 2020 to 2022. Arizaga last year competed in the duet along with teammate Greta Hampson. They both placed 6th in the duet in the national championships with a score of 79.0333. These two, Shamala and Arizaga, in the duet earlier this season finished 2nd behind Remmers and Gauthier with a score of 80.5333 against Stanford. Incarnate Word building up their women's artistic swimming program to compete at the top level. Right behind Ohio State and Stanford in the nation in artistic swimming. Already an impressive victory against Stanford as we see a key change in the music here going upbeat. And they're really sharp in their movements right now. Wow, difficult vertical. Right on beat with one another, synchronized. See a lot of difficulty in this routine. Wow, amazing breath control to be down in the water for this amount of time and execute that extremely well. This is Elizabeth Batista and Cameron Huey. Batista, in her first season from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, a member of the 2022 Canadian national team, a juniors gold medalist for duet and team events, also won the Canadian Juniors bronze medal in 2022. Cameron Huey, a sophomore, also from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, a 2019 gold medalist in tech and team events, the free team event as well, and the 2019 Canada Winter Olympic Games. Today will be all the free events that take place. Tomorrow will be the technical events. Batista and Huey finishing in 3rd place with a score of 80.0667 against Stanford. That was behind Remmers and Gauthier, who finished in 1st, and Arizaga and Shamala, who finished close behind in 2nd. Just operated on a lift there. Nicely well done with the vertical to the rotation being lifted. We see there the vertical into the rotation, and once again it's done. Great energy by the duet of Batista and Huey. Maria Martin Borrasegura with a score of 74.15. Wheaton placed 4th out of 6th in the trio. The two BU trios closed it out at 5th and 6th. Into the solo, this is Greta Hampson from the University of Incarnate Word. Hampson, a senior from Manchester, England, a 2019 gold medalist in the solo out in England. She finished in 3rd place with a solo against Stanford in the first meet. Swimmers must show a lot of grace as we see it terrifically done by Greta Hampson. A score of 80.4667 in the solo against Stanford. Nicely done in the vertical into the rotation and then back upwards again. As she pops up above water, sustains that energy. Excellent solo routine by Greta Hampson. Now on to the fourth selection. This is Nawar Shamala, the number 4 selection in the solo competition. She is the senior from Cairo, Egypt. Shamala finishing 4th in the solo against Stanford. Last year in the Nationals, Shamala placed 3rd in the Nationals at Ohio State with a score of 79.9667. She was the only member of Incarnate Word last season to place top 3 in the national championship. Shamala with a score 79.7, 4th place against Stanford. Extremely difficult routine by Shamala. A lot of core strength under the water. Really mastering the energy and the sharpness to this solo routine by Nawar Shamala. Strong solo routine by Nawar Shamala from Cairo, Egypt. The 4th soloist for today. And here's team number 2. This is Paige Arizaga, Elizabeth Batista, Lauren Bell, Michaela Goffier, Greta Hampson, Cameron Huey, Abigail Remmers, and Nawar Shamala. The first team of 2 for Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word 2012 Collegiate Nationals Duet and Team Event Champions. That's the best place that they had in program history, finished in 2nd place in the overall event to Ohio State. Since 2015, though, Incarnate Word has placed 4th place or better in the national championships for overall score. 3rd place last year, 3rd place in 2021 and 2016. Incarnate Word finished in 1st with the same team against Stanford, a score of 81.8667. In the team event last year, they had 2 teams. They placed 4th and 6th in the national championships. Right in sync right there as they go into a groupings off the hybrid. Incredible flexibility and execution all together. Incarnate Word, coached by Allison Haler in her first season. She was hired in September of 2022, two-time Olympic trials athlete, 20-time U.S. national champion for artistic swimming. Looking to build out a powerhouse program here for Incarnate Word. Already with a victory on their resume, winning in the season opener against Stanford, which is a 9-time national champion for the Cardinal. So tough to do as the swimmers at the bottom of the lift. They're called the base. Great execution down the line in the circle. Wow. Just so tough to do with the breath control, body control, stamina, core strength. Underwater speakers to help out the swimmers here throughout the routine. Great team routine by the University of Incarnate Word.